Some of them suitable for Bahura Katha, like common nutritional and health problems present in the community, identification of specific nutritional problem in the community, curative measure for different nutritional and health problems, and the preventive measures for different nutritional and health problems. In this Bura Katha can impact both learners and the teachers, because learners were very attentive in this Bura Katha, and listeners were involved very much in its presentation. The message were expressed with great emotion, which led to action in some of the learners. Next, folk approaches is puppetry approaches, and in this puppetry approaches has fascinated people of all age groups. But children in particular must be fashionable to accept this type of puppet show. And puppet shows are an effective communication or folk approaches in many cultures. They are interesting educational experience for learners because they are making puppets and writing the scripts and rehearsal and performing the show, which provide opportunities for learning and practicing new skills both in the classroom and in the community. When most of the puppet show are entertainment to be entertained, puppet show can be a good way to provide amusement. At the same time, it also impact new knowledge and ideas. And the puppets can be made to convey so many of messages, and to making them act out of dramatic story based on selected topic, which topics are related to nutrition and health education. In this puppet show, peoples must be distinct enough so that the audience can easily recognize, and different characters when they speak they can be also identified. There are different types of puppet show, string puppet show, and this kind of puppet show are popular in the states of Rajasthan, Odisha, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh. String puppet show ରେ यूज करा जाय थाए आयरन रिंग्स. आयरन रिंग्स रे से puppet को ओहले के different types of message शेयर करंती, जोटा कि community based message रही थाए. Next, rod puppets. Rod puppets are famous in West Bengal. These are large in size and are fixed to heavy bamboo stick रे सेटा लगा जाइथे पूरा पपेट कंढेई करिके, एंड बाम्बो स्टिक धरिके समाने कोन करि थांती, रड टाइप रो बाम्बो स्टिक रही थाए, ताको अप एंड डाउन करिके पपेट डांस करि थांती with including dialogues. Next type is shadow puppet. Shadow puppets are famous in Andhra Pradesh. Locally known as this shadow puppets is तलु बोमालता माने छाया पुटी जोटा की कहा जाए, सेटा लोकली सेई नारे सेटा फेमस. से कोन करथांती जो व्हाइट कलर स्क्रीन रखी के ता पछ बटे बैक साइड रे तार शैडो फिंगर्स रे डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ मटेरियल्स यूज करिके से शैडो करि थांदे. And these shadow puppets are famous in Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, and Odisha. Then hand puppets. These puppets are most popular in Odisha, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. In this hand puppets ରେ ସେମାନେ hand ରେ puppet ଟାକୁ dance different types of shape ଦେଇକି ସେ hands ରେ puppet କୁ show ଦେଖେଇଥାନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ତାର dialogue and କୌଣସି ପ୍ରକାର message share କରିଥାନ୍ତି. And this puppet show is so much interesting for children and other peoples also. Next one, these are the folk dance approaches. We discuss about storytelling. Storytelling is also a traditional forms of folk approaches because in the traditional or so many years ago there are some peoples explain a long-term story, and through a story they tell some suggestion, some message, some entertainment. We also some people's also nowadays interested for storytelling or listening the different types of story. Another one folk approaches is folk song. Some of the nutrition health educators also apply the technique of folk songs and folk dance of women in South India. Similarly, just like of Garba in Gujarat and Gida in Punjab can be utilized in the folk songs on North India. There are some points for development of folk songs and also folk dance. These folk songs and folk dance play and listen carefully the available audio cassettes with folk dialogue, songs, and different messages. These folk songs and folk dance practicing methods are also used to listen the audio available audio cassettes, learn to be sing by catching the style. Please mute the audio. Encourage the learners to continue singing folk songs when they like and while dancing. Folk songs also help people to know and retain the message through repeated singing. Now, play school children's ମାନଙ୍କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ folk song with different types of song ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ we also train them and some message, some information also share. Ballad style of storytelling is known as the Burakatha, which is famous in Andhra Pradesh and Bhilupatu in Tamil Nadu. It is an a old traditional folk approaches in India. And in this area, Burakatha can be adapted to nutrition and health communication because in the local community accept this type of language and this type of folk approaches. because these folk approaches are also based on local language and based on local peoples or community peoples approaches. How to prepare puppet show? First, prepare drawings, color them with color pens or pens. Then each figure should have two faces, one for each side of the puppet. The expression on each side should be very different because one side can express one people's expression and other side also express another people's expression. First, First, one face can show and tell some message or information or words or some dialogues. Then other side, another person play also some message or some dialogues. Okay. Then globe puppets. Globe puppets can be made by tracking the outline of your hand on a piece of cloth and stitching along the outline. In these globes, we can sew the face, hand, dress and can be printed after these different designs. These folk approaches are included in the instructional approaches. Next, we discuss the modern approaches. What are the approaches under the modern approaches? These approaches are analytical approach, dialogue approach, persuasive approach, and educational games. What is analytical approach? Analytical approach is one which the facilitated by the guiders to the learners to think for himself or herself in various ways, and the decision or an action at the end always rests with the learner. That is analytical approach. What is participatory approach? What is participatory approach? In which both learner and the teacher are participate in this approach is known as participatory approach. Then what are the principles for participatory approaches? The principles of participatory approaches are first purpose. In this purpose, the participatory approach must be purposeful for the learners because they must know why they have selected for this topic or the particular topic only why given this portion and what will be their satisfaction and an incentive to work. Then second principle is activity. This participatory approach gives opportunity to the learner to be active and to do things for themselves. Through activity-centered learning, the learners can think, learners can plan and do the things independently. They also suggest their personal way or the personal message to the teacher. And so many of the students and learners can also express different way with their own skills and abilities. Next is reality or the life centered. Basically, this participatory approach based on education is and also the real life situation which created this approach. And the learners prepare them better for their later life. So that is the reality. For example, ଗୋଟେ situation ଆସିଥିଲା, ଗୋଟେ problematic situation ଆସିଥିଲା in which ସେଥିରେ କ'ଣ ହେଲା ନା ଜଣେ learner ଯିଏ ରହିଲେ ସେ problem ଟାକୁ face କଲେ and solve କଲେ ନିଜର own thoughts, own skills, own abilities ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ସେ ତାଙ୍କର ସେଇ problem ଟିକୁ solve କଲେ. It means in her life this reality they can solve, and if in this type of problem they face in future they can solve properly. Okay, that is the realities and the life center. Then freedom. This participatory approach encourages the learners to act by themselves what they want, how they should do an activities are to be decided only by the learners. And the utilities. The knowledge gained should be useful in practical. And in these participatory approaches, ensure the practical utility of the knowledge gained. The modern approaches aims to both information transmission, which is known as knowledge, as well as the behavior changes, which is known as practice. Both knowledge and practice both are included in this type of participatory approaches. And what are the goal of nutrition health education? The goal of nutrition health education is to enable the people to increasingly control nutritional health problems that affect their health. There are different steps in analytical approaches. Because we discuss the analytical thinking by the learners, encouraged to analyze the particular situation and react to it. That is analytical approaches. So what are the steps? First steps are observation, comparison, reasoning, discussion, classification, and decision making. First, we identify the issues. When we analyze something, first we identify the issues and problems that confirm the target group through observation method. We observe what are the issues, We observe what are the problem and why this problem will be happen. Then second is reasons. Reason out the factors responsible, and the reasons can identify the problem. What are the causes? Why this situation can be arised. Next, group or classify the factors responsible for the problem. When we identify the problem, then we classify the factor the responsible for the problem. Then we discuss the possible and appropriate solution to the problem to identify the process of questioning. Last, when the solution is arrived, which are the most applicable through the comparison and decision making. Last, we evaluate the situation within the available local resources in the communities to which they belong. Then we discuss about dialogue approach. A dialogue approach is when the participant is not only participate, they learn and evaluate, but also share. First, they learn about the dialogue. When the participatory approaches can share all the things, we learn the dialogue. How? In which way we learn the dialogue? This someone provides the dialogues and gives more opportunities to sharing the knowledge and skills and experience is known as dialogue. One person share her knowledge and her skills in experience is known as dialogue. The dialogue approach is essentially an intensive sharing of ideas, skills and experience with regard to particular topic between two individuals. One can share their knowledge about the topic, one can learn or do to see these activities. It means the two individuals, one who is facilitator and other is learner. And this dialogue approach is two types. What is? One is structured approach and the another is unstructured approach. And the structure approaches are held in between two individuals. And it is a planned process because we discuss these approaches are structured. Structured means previously planned. And the conversation will be guided by putting some probing questions in such a manner. First, one question about their demographic profile, another question about her problem, another question what are the particular problems awareness, why this problem arise. These such manners or these orders are also known as structure. Okay. Next, what is unstructured manner. It is a spontaneous dialogue within the group. There is no restriction, there is no relation. The number in between the number of peoples who are involved in this problem or some program or some topic. There are so many peoples available, but they are not, there are no relationship in between. And our nutrition health situation always suitable to our dialogue approaches, where the identification of individual and family problems, then discuss the solution to the problem, then bringing out bringing about an attitude change towards specific concept like undesirable food, beliefs in feeding infants. These are the attitudes or the specific concept we can bringing out and gaining conviction about desirable practices in feeding infants. So, in nutrition and health situation suitable to the dialogue approaches. What is persuasive approach? Persuasive approach always involves in persuasive communication in which several variables can be identified whose interaction determines the outcome of the communication. It means the communicator send the message and communicate cannot be controlled to some extent with the management of these variables, which may assist in promoting change in attitude and behavior of the learners. If now we share some messages in mass media communication, and sometimes it may be communication problem or the message is not delivered properly, and the learner can accept it may be positive way or maybe negative way. Next we discuss about educational game. Now in colleges and schools, so many educational games are included, and with this game we can encourage people, students or learners attitude, behavior and their interest. What are the guidelines for develop the games in nutrition and health education? First, we adopt common games to specific nutrition and health education situation. It means which type of game we adopt. We introducing the nutrition and health message. For example, ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ message ଦବା ଯେ କୋଉ ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଖାଇଲେ ଆମର nutritious ମିଳୁଛି. Through message, through development, we can discuss about children ମାନଙ୍କ ଉପରେ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଯିବା ଆମେ ସେଠି ତାଙ୍କୁ କଣ କରିବା different colors because children are attractive in different colors fruits and vegetables ତାଙ୍କୁ show up କରିକି different types of food in front of the children ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ prepared କରିପାରିବା ଏବଂ ତାହା ଦେହରେ ଥିବା nutrients and ତା ଭିତରେ ଥିବା ତାର ଯୋଉ advantages କୁ ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଶୋ କରିପାରିବା. ସୋ ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ସୁଇଟେବଲ ହେଲା ଭଳି ଗେମ୍ ଆମେ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଚୁଜ୍ କରିବା. ଇଟ୍ ମିନ୍ସ ସେଥିରେ କିଛି ମେସେଜ ରହିବ ରିଲେଟେଡ୍ ଟୁ ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିସନ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ହେଲ୍ଥ ଆଣ୍ଡ ସୁଇଟେବଲ ହଉଥିବ ଚିଲଡ୍ରେନ୍ସ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଦେ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ଆକ୍ସେପ୍ଟ ଦ ମେସେଜ ଇନ୍ ଭେରି ଇଜି ୱେ. ଦେ ଅଲସୋ ସେମାନେ ଯେମିତିକି ମନେ ରଖିପାରୁଥିବେ and local condition ମଧ୍ୟ suitable ହଉଥିବ and keeping with the cultural background of the target group. ଆମେ ଯାହାକୁ କହିବା ତାଙ୍କର ସଂସ୍କୃତି for example different culture different food groups ରହିଥାଏ ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ different food ରୁ ସେମାନଙ୍କର different types of processing way ଥାଏ. ତ ସେମାନେ ସେଇ ପ୍ରୋସେସିଂ ୱେରେ କୋଉ ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିଏଣ୍ଟସ୍ ପାଉଛନ୍ତି ଅଦର ପ୍ରୋସେସିଂ ୱେ ସେମାନେ ଅନ୍ୟମାନେ ଯାହା ଆଡପ୍ଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ ଦେହରୁ କୋଉ ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିଏଣ୍ଟସ୍ ପାଉଛନ୍ତି. ତ ଫର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଗାଇଡଲାଇନ୍ ଇଜ adopt common games to specific nutrition and health educational situation. Then second is create games which have scope to incorporate nutrition information. It means first we think and develop the games which there is a scope to introducing nutrition message and the game will help the participant to get the message indirectly while playing the games. ଯେମିତିକି କୌଣସି ଛୋଟ ଛୁଆ ହେଲା ଆମେ କାଉଣ୍ଟ କଲା ବେଳେ ବି ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଭେଜିଟେବଲ୍ସ ନେମ୍ କହିକି ଭେଜିଟେବଲ୍ସ ଦେଇକି ତାଙ୍କୁ କାଉଣ୍ଟ ଶିଖେଇ ଦେଉଛେ. In that process different types ର vegetables ଦେଖେଇକି ଆମେ different peoples ମାନଙ୍କୁ attractive ମଧ୍ୟ କରିପାରିବା. Those who are the patients also patients ମାନଙ୍କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ colorful different ways different style of processing of cooking ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଦେଖେଇକି ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଥିବା nutrition enhances process କୁ ଆମେ show କରିପାରିବା. Then to create innovative games to help to gain practice and skills related to nutrition and health. Next, involve your learner in the creation of educational game. By taking part in creating the games they play, students gain through knowledge of the concept of the food or the nutrients or health condition included in the present game. They may be further encouraged to continue to discuss this message. Now, the nutrition and health educators adopt some of the nutrition related games. For example, they use food card games, food family games, playing cards, road to health games, puzzles, interesting way, different interesting way use करिए सेमाने ताकू ये करि पारुछन्ते accept करूछन्ते. Cardboards in the cardboards game different types of vitamin A rich foods are included in the cardboard. Different types of B complex vitamins food groups are included in this game. Okay. These are the cardboard games. What are the role of nutrition and health educators? What are the role? The nutrition and health educators always they treat the peoples as our equals as friends. They can friendly behave just like they are not known. They know so many years before. Okay, and they respect the learners or the people's ideas and build on their experience. ଆମେ ଯଦି କୌଣସି କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ଆମେ ଆଜ ଏ ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିସନ ଏଜୁକେଟର ଆମେ ସେମାନଙ୍କ ଆଇଡିଆ ସେମାନଙ୍କ ଥିଙ୍କିଂ ଲେବଲକୁ ଯଦି ଆମେ ରେସପେକ୍ଟ ନ କରିବା ଦେ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ନଟ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ଆବାଉଟ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଦେ ଆର୍ ଅଲସୋ ସେମାନେ ବି ଆମ ସେଥିରେ ଭଲ ବିହେଭିୟର କରିପାରିବେନି କୌଣସି ଜିନିଷର ନ୍ୟୁ ଥିଙ୍ଗସ ନ୍ୟୁ ଆଇଡିଆଜ ବି ଆମ ସେଥିରେ ସେୟାର କରିପାରିବେ ନାହିଁ so nutrition educators always invite cooperation and encourage and help the peoples who lag behind. Always nutrition educators' first duty is they always help those peoples are who lag behind. Just like front benchers and back benchers. Front benchers जे ଥାନ୍ତି ସେ ଆଗକୁ ଯାଇପାରନ୍ତି but ଜଣେ ଟିଚରର ମୋଷ୍ଟ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ରୋଲ ହେଲା ଯଦି ସେ ଜଣେ ବ୍ୟାକ୍ ବେଞ୍ଚର୍ସକୁ ଆଗକୁ ଆଣିପାରିବ ସେମିତି ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିସନ ଏଜୁକେଟର୍ସ always help those who lag behind. All are in Odia medium, all can understand.
Yes, ma'am.
And the nutrition educator always welcome criticism, questioning, and initiative and trust. We discuss about analytical approach. In the analytical approach, the nutrition educator always solve the immediate problem and they always criticize the situations and questioning they face some major questioning and discuss about it. And they also, their most important role, another one is they trust the people so many times. ଯଦି ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କ ସାଥିରେ trust ନ କରିବା, then they cannot share their problems, their situation, which nutrients, which foods they can avoid. ସେମାନେ କାହାକୁ avoid କରୁଛନ୍ତି, କାହାକୁ accept କରୁଛନ୍ତି, କୋଉ ଫୁଡରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଧାରଣା କ'ଣ, ତାଙ୍କର beliefs କ'ଣ, they cannot share. ତାଙ୍କ cultureରେ କ'ଣ beliefs ରହିଛି, ଯଦି ସେମାନେ share ନ କରିବେ, then we cannot share our messages. Okay. Next, we discuss about the woman to woman strategy. What is woman to woman strategy? A woman to woman strategy means in between two women sharing of knowledge, skills, confidence. Against the woman is the woman to woman strategy. And this strategy formulated, the woman has a natural tendency to share some information with the neighbors, friends and relatives. ସଦାବେଳେ the natural କଥା ହୁଏ ଯେତେବେଳେ two women ମାନେ ମିଶି ଯାଆନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ ନିହାତି କିଛି ନା କିଛି discuss କରିଥାନ୍ତି against some people or positive of the some people. ଅନ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କ ବିଷୟରେ ସେ positive କେତେବେଳେ discussion କରନ୍ତି କେତେବେଳେ negative discussion କରନ୍ତି. And some women have the leadership skills. Some women have self-reliance to begins at home. Women accept the message or the practice given by the fellow of women easily. That is known as woman to woman strategies. What are the principles of woman to woman strategies? It is essentially the communication is individualized in between one woman to another woman. Next principle is it's the sharing of information, skills and confidence takes place but not teaching or instruction. They are not taking some teaching or some instruction. They share the information, skills and confidence. And this woman to woman strategy is based on home learning and learning by doing, finding local answer, self-reliance or self-management. What are the process of woman to woman strategy? First process is identify of local K women. One nutrition health educators can find if they want to share some message or information about their community, they first identify the local key women. This can be done in many ways. The simplest of all interview the women locality ପଚାରିଦେବେ ଜାଣିଦେବେ ଯେ locality ରେ କେତେ ଜଣ ଅଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କୁ ବେସ୍ କରିକି ସେମାନେ ତାକୁ କରିବେ. It means first step is identify the local K women. Second is identification of needy women. Third is transfer message or practice from nutrition educator to K women. Third is continuous transfer of message and practice. These are the process of woman to woman strategies. Then child to child strategy. Child-to-child strategies has been formulated in the recent past, and the one child in this child-to-child strategy, one child can pass the message to their siblings, to their friends, to their parents, to their neighbors, some message or some information. And child to child strategy is a strategy designed to educate and encourage older children to concern themselves with their own food behavior and the health of their younger brother and sisters. And this child to child program first began in preparation of the International Year of the Child in 1979. David Morley brought together a group of health workers and educators from many countries. What are the principles behind the child to child strategies? First, they are excitement of learning through immediate application of knowledge and skills learnt in the families. And learning, we know about the learning continues like a chain from one child to another. It also helping oneself and helping each other. Gaining respect and trust by taking responsible roles in the family like maintaining family's health. When the child to child strategy implement in communities. Child to child strategy has been tried out in different situations like rural and urban setups, non-formal schools such as Anganwadis, play centers, balwadis, mobile creatures in slum and temporary setups of construction workers, hospitals, nutrition rehabilitation centers, experimental schools, up training centers, etc. Community workers or the field workers always contact to the communities have a far greater responsibilities than the experts in the subjects because the community workers identifies themselves with the villagers and establishes rapport with them. They not only to establish community contact, but also to emphasize community practices. There are some community contact steps when implement the community contact. First is the community workers establishing the community rapport, then learning in, form and with the community, assessing the community readiness for change, enhancing community participation, introducing a new concept and practices. Establishing rapport in the community. First step, how they establish the rapport community with the community workers or the community people. First of all, it is important that the community worker familiarize herself or himself with the knowledge, attitude, and practices prevalent in the community. Once she or he is acquainted with this background information, there are some chances to being accepted as a part of the community to definitely enhance their knowledge. And the nature of communication between the worker and the community has been diagrammatically represent the Johari's window. What is Johari's window? Johari's window also divided in four parts. First is open self. Open self means this message or the message can know in the people and the community. That is known as open self. What is behind self? The message or the information or the problems not known by the community workers but known by the people. Okay. What is unknown? Community workers don't know and also the people don't know. And what is the blind self? Blind self is the community workers known, but the people don't know or they self don't know. That is blind self. When a community diagnosis is a self-analysis by the community about the problems that concern people most, conduct self-analysis by the community. And the change agent can adopt different methods when operation they are learning from and with the community. What are the steps or the process? First, the community workers go to the people's home and get to know them. They can behave friendly to know about them. Okay. Next, second step is gather information. While gathering information, try to find out what problems. Those problems are related to health and nutrition. People feel are most important. Then third, Ask only for information that makes sense. Be sure the people understand why the information is needed. For example, to be sure that parent understand why you want information about the child's being fed. Okay. Then fourth is involve local people. Those who are want to take the lead or the responsibilities for gathering the information. Try to avoid taking a long written questionnaire. Avoid write notes. If you ask a long questionnaire, they cannot interest to answer your questions. So, always avoid taking a long written questionnaire. Next, look for ways of making the survey a learning, exploring experiences for those being questioned. Learn to look and listen. Observe people carefully. You can find out as much as you can by watching the way people act and to do things. Go slowly when giving advice to the people. When it concerns their attitudes, which is concern their attitudes and habits. Last, consolidate all the information and gathered in terms of needs and problems which are the influence to our the topic or the problem or the situation. Okay. What is community participation? Community participation is a process of involving people in identifying the needs, improving their own understanding, and in analyzing their work situations and problems. That is community participation. Community participation is controlled mostly by the people who takes the lead, who is credible communicator, who act an ideal model person. Okay. Mm. What is the role of education system in nutrition and health education? Our nutrition and health education personnel generally feel that they are rendering more effective and practical service to the needy groups to the needy peoples, but that is not adequate to teach the whole community. And this reason there is a need to improve the efficacy of nutrition and health education program by devising or by using the education system. And our education system can accord greater emphasis and better focus on health education activities. This can be done in its overall program or at least at primary and secondary education levels. Always good habits of personal hygiene and dietary practices are best inculcated and promoted the impressionable and formative years of childhood and youth or adolescence. And the health. According to WHO, health is not just because the absence of disease, but it is a positive attribute which is established and maintained by habits and practices which are integral part of the way of daily life of individuals and communities. Some of the rural school system. Using rural school system, certain nutrition, health and sanitation projects have been also launched, and one of the nutrition project is nutrition, health education and environmental sanitation, which was launched by the government in the year 1975. The project seeks to realize at least partially some of the vast potential offered by the rural schools. This project, coordinated by NCERT, National Council of Educational Research and Training, which in New Delhi, and funded by UNICEF. It is being implemented utilizing the rural school system as a strategy. What are the objectives of this project? NHEES. NHEES means, what are the full form of NHEES? Nutrition, health education and environmental sanitation. What are the objectives? First objective is to develop and promote desirable nutrition and health, environmental sanitation or personal hygiene practices among the pupils, among the communities from which the pupils drawn this. Second objective is to enable the children and their parents to understand the importance of adequate nutrition for good physical and mental development. Third objective is to educate children on the practical ways of achieving adequate nutrition within their means through appropriate choice, observation, and preparation of food available for their locality. And fourth objective is to develop, to help children and their parents become aware of health service and health facilities. For example, health facilities means immunization. Through immunization, we can aware the parents or the children's. Okay. Some of the states like Gujarat, in the place of Baroda, Andhra Pradesh, in the place of Tirupati, Punjab in the place of Ludhiana, Madras, and Coimbatore has effectively used the rural school system for community education, focusing essentially in the primary school children and their parents. Community based nutrition and health education message. Next, we discuss about some of the community nutrition programs. Some community nutrition programs are ANP, Applied Nutrition Program, SNP, Special Nutrition Program, Composite Program, Midday Meal Program, Integrated Child Development Service ICDS, UXMAM Project Nutrition Rehabilitation Program, Nutrition Health Education and Environmental Sanitation Program. We discuss about these programs. First, ANP. ANP Applied Nutrition Program was started in the year 1963 by the Community Development Department in India. This program now mainly historical interest because it is no longer in operation. It was aided by international agencies such as UNICEF. UNICEF's full form is United Nations Children's Fund, and FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, and WHO, World Health Organization. Then what are the aimed or what are the objectives of ANP, Applied Nutrition Program? First, to encourage production of bodybuilding and protective foods. What are the bodybuilding and protective food? Bodybuilding foods are protein-rich food and mineral-rich food. And protective foods are vitamin-rich food and mineral-rich food such as eggs, fish, meat, milk, milk product, vegetables, and fruits. Second objective is to provide nutrition education to promote the consumption of the above nutritious foods by the mother and the children. And this program had been developed to educate the rural people about how they can increase and also improve their food supply through their own effort. It means this program advised to rural people to eat much more protein-rich food and vitamin-rich food and mineral-rich food. It also promoted the nutritional status of vulnerable group. Vulnerable groups means for children, Lactating mother and pregnancy mother are under the vulnerable group. This vulnerable to promoted the nutritional status of the vulnerable group through self-help group. Next, we discuss about SNP, Special Nutrition Program. This special nutrition program provide nutrition to the preschool children, pregnant women, and nourishing mothers which, who are belonging to the weaker section of the society. The special nutrition program was launched in the year 1970 to 71 by the Central Social Welfare Department CSWD. Mamoni, where do you belong? Okay. Sonali,
Again,
you know about this program? Yes or no?
yeah,
ANP, SNP.
again,
Yes.
agree with the
Okay.
point.
Okay. Let's discuss. The Special Nutrition Program was launched in 1970 and 71 by the CSWD, Central Social Welfare Department. And this program was envisaged the nutritious food would be supplied under the program 1970 to 71 for 6.8 lakh children in the age group of 0 to 3 years. And the benefits of the program were extended to the children in the age group 0 to 6 years as well as pregnant women and nourishing mother during 1971 to 72, which supplement consisted of 300 calories and 10 gram of protein for children and 500 calories and 25 gram protein for pregnant women and nourishing mother. And this scheme, SNP schemes, also proposed periodically check up for beneficiary children. By the end of 1973 to 74, the program covered nearly 37 lakh beneficiaries in urban slum, tribal and backward rural peoples. The coverage by 1986 exceeded 70 lakh beneficiaries. Next, we discuss about composite nutrition program. Composite nutrition program always composition in ANP and SNP. The program was implemented by state government through official and non-official agencies. These existing institutions of Mahila Mandals and Balwadis played leading role in implementing at the field level. And this program, Composite Nutrition Program, had five composition or the five components. First is nutrition education through Mahila Mandal. Second is strengthening the supervisory machinery for women's program. Third is encouragement of economic activities of Mahila Mandal. Fourth is training of associate women workers and demonstration feeding. These are the five components for composite nutrition program. Next, we discuss about Balwadi feeding program. What is Balwadi feeding program? Hmm. The Balwadi program, feeding program, started in the year 1970 to 71, which was implemented through voluntary organization. And the voluntary organizations are CSWB, Central Social Welfare, and national level of voluntary organization. Indian Council for Child Welfare, Bharatiya Adimajati Sevak Sangh, and Harijana Sevak Sangh were responsible for the implementation of program with granted given by the Ministry of Social Welfare. This organization distribute the grant to voluntary organization through their states units. Under the program, assistance is provided for the salary of the Bal Sevak and honorarium to the helper as well as supplementary food to children. Let's discuss about the midday meal program. The midday meal program is the popular name for school meal program which grew out the National Program of Nutrition Support of Primary Education. NPMSPE is now being renamed as National Program of Midday Meal. NPNSPE is now being renamed as National Program of Midday Meal. The midday meal program was emerged to save our children from the adverse effect of hunger, starvation, and malnutrition. The beneficiaries of this program are those children who are studying in primary class 1 to 5 and upper primary class 6 to 8 stage of education. What are the objectives of midday meal program? It providing at least one third of nutritional requirements recommended by the ICMR for the child and helping to promote the child's health, growth, and development. It emphasizing children to go to school and remain in school and thus improving the school attendance. Also, second objective. Third objective is fostering sound social behavior among children and narrowing the feelings of difference between various castes. Fourth objective is inculcating good food and health habits in children. Fifth objective is imparting nutrition education to the parents and community through the children. Let's we discuss about ICDS, Integrated Child Development Service. The ICDS or the Integrated Child Development Service as an innovative experimental program was launched in the year 1975, which introduced 33 blocks and at and it was also expanded to 1738 blocks by the year 1988. It is the government's most ambitious and comprehensive plan to increase the child survival rate among the poorest and enhance the health, nutrition, and learning opportunities the preschool children and their mothers. Now, adolescent girls are also form the part of the target group. Then what are the under ICG, what are the packages or what are the services under the ICDS service? It also periodic health checkups, treatment of minor ailments referral services, medical referral services, immunization. In these services are included under the ICDS services. Immunization, supplementary feeding, non-formal preschool education, clean drinking water, nutrition and health education, growth monitoring, adolescent girls scheme. These services are under ICDS service. And these services are provided at the Anganwadi workers and her health. It is usually covers a population of 1000 in rural and urban areas and 700 in tribal areas. What are the objectives of ICDS services? First objective is to improve the nutritional and health status of the children in the age group of 0 to 6 years. Second objective is to bring down the mortality and morbidity rates among children 0 to 6 years. Third objective is to reduce school dropout rates by providing yearly stimulation to 3 to 6-year-olds. To provide environmental conditions necessary for physical, social and mental development of children. To achieve effective coordination at the policy and implementation level among the government departments, to promote the child development, to enhance the capabilities of the mothers, to look after the normal health and nutritional needs of the child through proper nutrition and health education. Let's we discuss Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana needs of undernourished infants and children below 3 years. It is a initiative in the form of Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana has been introduced during the financial year 2000 to 2001. Under Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana, 15% of the total additional central assistance are earmarked for nutrition components and which ensure that all below poverty line BPL children in 0 to 3 years are provided requisite nutrition for meeting the gap in the RDA recommended dietary allowances. Who is communicate the nutrition program? Nutrition educator always communicate the nutrition program. What to communicate? Nutritional related messages they communicate to the people. The message which are related to the preventing different deficiency disease and to prevent some nutritional problem also. How we carry out a nutrition education program? What are the steps in the process of nutrition education? First step is identify the problem. Second step is decide on chief problem. Third step is suggest causes. Fourth step is decide on changes needed. Fifth step is discuss some solution. Sixth step is decide on one solution. Seventh step is develop plan of action. Eighth step is carry out the plan. Ninth step is evaluate the problem and also your planning or all the program related things. So these are the steps in the process of nutrition education. How you educate to the people through nutrition education. What are the major steps one can adopt or solve this problem? What are the action plan? What are the steps? First, you can collect about the information of the community and its problem and their causes. Then you discuss these problems with the people or the community people. Third step is to understand how the problem affect the people or the community of people. Then fourth, contact the community workers from other sectors to learn their experience in dealing with similar problem and the group of the people. What are, what are the common food and nutrition problem in the community? First, eat greens at least an alternative dish. That is also a majority problem. Breastfeed your babies at least up to 6 months. Eat more vegetables every day. Have a fruit, minimum one in a day, to fight against disease, because we know fruits and vegetables are a protective food. So fruit always fight against different diseases. Eat carrots for bright eyes. We know vitamin A rich food or carotene rich food is carrot, and vitamin A and carotene helps for our bright eyes. Okay, thank you.
मैम
Today
एजुकेटेड
class
इन
is over.
ठीक है
Hmm?
मैं मैम कॉल करिए
हाँ, sure. Okay.
मैम थैंक